Hi, I'm Mickey Schuch with CarryTrainer.com. Today we're talking about drawing from concealment. So what's the deal? Why does everybody want to see what we're doing different than everybody else? Everybody on the internet out there today thinks they're an expert in concealed firearms or firearm tactics in general. And don't get me wrong, there are hundreds of very, very expert trainers across the country. But what I'm seeing right now in the YouTube world and in all of these pop-up training companies around the country are bad tactics. What we want you to think about is not specifically what gun to carry, what holster to carry, or where to carry it, but what we want you to think about is, can I deploy the weapon rapidly and stop a threat? I hear constantly from students and from other trainers that we're not gunslingers, we're not the police, we do not need to be able to rapidly deploy a firearm. And I say bullshit. Why? Because the average human being can fire a weapon every 0.2 of a second. That means in 1 second you could have up to 5 rounds coming your way. So if we think about that, bad guys where the camera's at, I'm here, it takes me some lag time to figure out that there's something bad happening. That's the problem with a defensive situation. You're behind the curve, you're defending yourself, and the bad guy, he knows when it's time to attack. He knows what's going to happen. You don't. We're going to take a brief look at some concealed carry pistols and holsters. I'm a big fan of Kydex. I also have some leather holsters. The purpose of today's video, though, is not what holster to use, what firearm to use. What we want you to think about is the mindset of training with these holsters and training with your firearm to be able to deploy it rapidly so that when you get the impulse, the stimulus rather, of a threat, it's subconscious to draw that firearm and present it to the target. So we're going to go through several of these in several different scenarios today to show you what we want you to be practicing. We want the draw stroke to be as smooth and as fluid as possible. In training for a proper draw stroke from concealment, you don't want a bunch of exaggerated movements. There's guys that train all kinds of herky-jerky exaggerated movements. What we're trying to do is fast and smooth as possible. We've got to gain access to the firearm, grab it with your support hand, grab your cover garment over the firearm, not too far forward, not too far back. As soon as that comes up, you're going to get your master grip, rotate, and press out for a shot. Appendix carry is all the rage. It's nothing new. There's guys that say that they've invented it. This is how cowboys have been carrying guns since the Old West. You look in the 1800s, there's thousands, literally thousands of pictures of men with 6-shooters shoved into their waistband in this position. So anybody that wants to say this is new is wrong. The reason we like this is it puts everything right in front of us. So if you were to fall on your back with the position I was showing you earlier, be in a vehicle, it's hard to access the weapon. From this position, it can be argued that it's a shorter motion. So same thing, we're going to grab the garment over the weapon. We're going to expose it, and this has got to be done in a manner that we're bringing it up high enough that we don't catch our other hand on the shirt. So we're going to come up, we're going to get our master grip, we press out, and make the shot. I'm going to do that again. So we're going to look at this draw now, start to finish, just in slow time so we can break it down with live fire. I like to start in this position. It's non-confrontational. If you need to strike an opponent from this position, you're able to, and you can also rapidly access your firearm. So we're going to break it down here, live fire. Now we're going to look at that on the timer so we can see what we can do with standard everyday cover garments. That was really slow. I was at 1.7 on that. I got hung up on the draw. Here we go. $1.4. You can do it one more time. So what I'm trying to show you here is that you can rapidly deploy the firearm and you can put accurate, combat effective hits on target with speed. We're going to change up our cover garments and try this again. All right, we're going to do a live fire drill now with a t-shirt on. A lot of people say the t-shirt's not a good cover garment. I disagree. I use it all the time. It's hot, summertime, I want to be comfortable. I also want to have my weapon with me. So running the Glock 19 today, again in the inside the waistband Kydex holster. Load and make ready. I'm gonna run this one time just with the t-shirt, and then I'm gonna run it on the timer, see what kind of times we can get. All right, we're gonna do this again, one shot on target with the timer, with the t-shirt. We're gonna see what kind of times we're able to get. And again, I'm not incorporating any movement in this. All the purpose of what I'm doing right now is just getting the mechanics of the draw stroke down. So that's what we're looking at. So one shot on target in 1.3 seconds from the beat. A lot of people don't understand that there's almost a quarter second of lag time automatically for your human brain to hear that beep or to see some stimulus and respond. Almost a half a second by the time you've received the stimulus and told your muscles to act. So knowing all of that, as fast as you're possibly going to go, you're still behind the curve when you're being attacked. So train these movements hard, train them until they become subconscious, get a timer, get to the range and try it out. Hey everybody, Mickey Schuch here with CarryTrainer.com. I'm reminding you, everything you see us do is something that we've practiced many times with unloaded firearms. You need to do the same before you try anything with a gun. Remember, safety is your responsibility. You need to read and know how to use a firearm and understand where you're shooting and what's beyond the backstop. Also, you and you alone are responsible for your personal safety.